This is your ultimate guide to traveling more for less.
So I've been to around 50 countries now. I've been traveling for over 15 years, and people always wonder, how can I afford it? So if you also want to travel the world and not break the bank, this is the video for you. So if you're new here, I'm Marlene. I make travel videos here on YouTube. But instead of always showing the destination I go to, I also want to share how do I get there and what are my tips and tricks, so you can also do the same. So without further ado, let's get it started. My first tips is always about laying the foundation about traveling. So how do you do that? It's like with your life in general, how you can have the mindset actually of saving money. So for example, if you are young and you are living with your parents, or if you are living with your partner, you can save money on rent, and this money that you're saving can go towards your travels. And actually also when you travel, you what I sometimes do, I put my place on Airbnb, so that help with covering the rent and also helping with some travel costs when I'm into the destination. And if you are not too keen on renting out your place, if you live in big cities such as New York, London, Paris, I can guarantee you that in your circle of friends, you have someone wanted to come to the city for a while and rent your apartment when you are away. So that's also another way for me to another way that I will advise to save money on travel. And you also have some home swap programs, where if you have a friend who live in New York and you want to visit for a week and they want to come to London to visit for a week, you can exchange like this through word of mouth. But you also have websites and platforms that are specifically dedicated to swapping homes. And secondly, there's like a few travel apps and loyalty points that I will advise people to sign up for and to look into. You can use credit card points like Amex, American Express. This is something that a lot of people do in the UK and the US. They rack up points and air miles through credit card points by, for example, just a sign-up bonus can give you 60,000 points, and then you transfer this point to this airline, and then you get to fly. Sometimes just by what I used to do in the past, I will rack up miles by like paying for two business class flights per year, and then when you fly business class, you fly a certain distance that actually give you a lot of air miles. And I got to the point where I didn't actually pay for a single flight for 5 years after spending so much on flights and racking up points. You also have to. It's quite it's hard work to know how to use point and how to this needs its own video for me to teach you how to do that. But yeah, so I always advise my friend, like, don't look for the cheaper flight you find. That drives me insane. Please be loyal to an airline, and it will take you further. And I'm not saying that, oh, you have to fly business class to Australia twice a year to rack up all these points. Within Europe as well, when you fly business class, because you have bonus points, you can actually achieve a certain status that will help you collect a lot of miles. And if you are not into credit card, like, there's bank cards for everyday spendings that give you also points. So I use Revolut because I'm in the UK, so that's the one I use personally. There's other card that offers these advantages, but yeah, in Revolut with everyday spendings, you get something called Rev points, and you can then turn on this point into air miles, which is also, yeah, an easy way to do that. On your everyday spending, for example, Uber, every time you book a taxi on your Uber app, you can link it to the air miles for any air mile program that you are part of. And then you get points doing that. Shopping. You go, for example, I'll give a concrete example. British Airways, you go into their website. They have a shopping section. And then when you shop, for example, you need a new laptop. I'll give the best example. Let's go to Apple. It gives you 10 points per pound spent. You spend £1,000 on a laptop, that gives you 10,000 avios. And 10,000 avios can fly you three times within Europe. And don't tell me, I have people who said, oh, but I cannot book, it's always fully booked. Actually, no, there's always seats available if you book. Don't try to book during the busy period where everyone wants to travel, of course, where you can monitor when flights are available on point. So this is what I do. I receive an email, oh, this destination is available on point, and now you can book it. That's the best way to do it, and sometimes it's a day before. If you are a risky traveler, I would advise to do that. Another way to rack up miles without using a credit card is a program that is called Aeroplan, which is belong to Air Canada. So this is another way. So for example, you need to know about Airline Alliance. You educate yourself about Airline Alliance, and you join a program, the best program of that alliance. Aeroplan is part of Star Alliance, which are the best airlines around there. It's like Lufthansa, United, and the best Asian airlines are into this program as well. So when you fly with those airlines, you put your Aeroplan flight number into it, and then you rack up points by that. And if you are a member of Aeroplan, you receive email when they tell you where the specific bonuses. Actually, this, as I said before, this need all the videos, but I didn't talk about it for the last 5 minutes. So at least you know the basis. I will also advise to join hotel program, Intercontinental Hotel Group, Marriott, Hyatt, because when you join and you accumulate points, you can sometimes get free nights. My preferred program is Intercontinental, because you can actually buy yourself a higher status by it's called the Ambassador program. It costs 200 USD. I know it's not cheap, but with 200 USD you get the highest privilege, or like one below the top privilege. And when you are at the destination, you have access to the lounge. That gets you free food and drinks. The lounge of the hotel lounge that gave you free food. You get late checkout, early check-in, and sometimes you also have bonus points. So for example, your stay will give you 10,000 points because you spend £1,000 for a week, for example. I'm talking about for people who like to go to resorts. Because you are an ambassador, you get 5 times bonus, so that gives you 50,000 pounds. 50,000 points, sorry, points, British. And then that's a free night in another place for a weekend somewhere in Europe, for example. And with the ambassador status, you also get a free night stay in a weekend. So for example, let's pick a cheap destination. You want to spend the weekend in Budapest. You book the Friday and the Saturday night. You will only pay for the Saturday night. So for one night, you can stay 2 nights because you are part of the ambassador status. So basically, you paid that $200 pays itself off if you do that. And I've been doing that for many years now. Thirdly, when you planning is very important to be flexible during your planning. So instead of saying, oh, I want to go to Japan in January and during X and Y, Z, and then you start looking at flights and they're all £1,000, £900, like £1,500. For example, I'm looking at Sri Lanka, £1,500 to go to Sri Lanka in economy, no thanks. So sometimes what I do, because I'm curious about the world, I want to discover new countries, I just put the dates for which I'm free. In January, for example, I'm free from the 2nd of January to the 12th of January. You go into Google Flight and you type in those dates, and then you just put your airport of departure, and then you click on search, and they will give you a lot of destinations, and then you can choose which one is cheaper. But you have to be flexible and quite free, and like everyone needs to agree. This is why I like traveling solo, because it makes my life easier. I avoid flying on weekends. If you can, weekends and holiday of course, if you can, try to leave on Thursday and come back on a Monday. For example, when you're coming from Asia, it's super cool because you fly overnight and you arrive here in the morning. So for example, if you're flying back from Thailand to London, you can take the Sunday 1 a.m. flight in Bangkok and you arrive in London at 6 a.m. And instead of doing that on a Monday, because all the business people come back, will be taking that flight will be more expensive. But if you look Tuesday, 1 a.m. flight, it'll be pretty much half the price because nobody is flying on that day, then you're still back here on Tuesday morning. So if you can extend your holiday by a day, I would suggest you come back on a Tuesday morning. We are graced in the UK to have a bit more time than in America. So for example, for your bank holiday, that is in April 2025, for my UK audience, you can take 9 days of work, a bank holiday Friday and Monday. So when you come back to work, you get 4 days off, and then you take the week after, this is 5 days off. And then it's the 5th of May, which is also a bank holiday. So you got that day off, which we can, if you're on the east side, you can come on a Tuesday morning. If you're on the west side, you fly Monday overnight on the Monday. So, and all that give you like 18 days of holiday for which will maximize your time and your expenses. Try to fly to cheaper places. Not saying that you should use your dollars or your pound to take advantage of poor countries. It's not that at all. It's just that the currency sometimes gives you advantages, and you should be using it, but still try to be mindful of the local and try to be a bit more sustainable when you travel by staying in local. For example, if you go to Japan, stay in in ryokan. Try to stay like with local, or try to get some Airbnbs when you're abroad and things like that. Try to support a bit more the local economy. So you can go these countries. What are they? Turkey, Argentina, Thailand. People like Thailand say that it's cheap. Vietnam, Jordan even, because these are countries that feeds from tourism, and the people will be scared of going to Jordan due to the current situation. But Jordan is Switzerland of the Middle East. It's quite a peaceful area. But I understand the concern that people will have with going to Jordan, unfortunately. But they are looking for tourists, and they would like to refit their economy. So if you can go, it would be a good place. No, Jordan is not paying me to say that, but it's just an example. Avoid traveling in high season. As I say, it's impossible if you have kids or if you are a teacher. You cannot avoid this period. But what I'm trying to say, so for example, when in Europe, everything is soaring, all the prices are soaring because it's June, July, August. You can go to South America, where it's actually the shoulder season, where people think that it rains every day, but it actually doesn't rain. So it doesn't rain that much. It will probably rain for 3 hours a day, and you still have a great time. Flight can be high because, of course, it's the holiday season, but once you are in the country, it's gonna be more affordable than Europe. In my last video, when I'm talking about the worst airport to get a layover up here, I was staying to avoid Chinese airport. But I was also explaining that this methodology to get over this layover and use this layover as a stopover. So you apply for the 144 hours visa that helps you to stay 6 days in China. The reason why I say that, because Chinese airlines, if you want to go to Asia especially, they have a lot of deals. So for example, I want to go to Japan, but I need to go through Taiwan to see a friend. So I'm doing London, Taiwan. And I was looking at doing Tokyo back to London. And once I'd done that, the price was like super high. And Taiwan as well in January is hot there. So it's not hot, but it's not as cold as in Japan, for example. So the flight price is still high because it's still the holiday season. So there's a loophole you can do, like you can stop over for a few days in China and take internal flight within China and Tokyo and then come back to Shanghai and fly back to London, and that's cut the price in half. I'm gonna make another video. Let me know if I actually want to see this video when I'm booking something. If I can share, do a split screen, not share my screen, not split screen, a screen sharing on how I book this flight and what result I come up with. I think it would be a fun way to show you how I book cheap flight. So yeah, that's it. Take advantage of Chinese airline. A few years back, before COVID, these airlines were very, very bad. But now they have new planes. You can look on YouTube, there's a lot of video with flight reviews. Now they have new planes. They have brought back some planes from Singapore Airlines. So the service is much better now. They really want to attract the clientele. And it's because these airlines are not privatized. That's the reason why they have cheap fares. So there's no problem about, well, one thing I should be honest with, they fly over Russia. So if you're concerned about it, maybe don't do it. But yes, except for that, excellent planes. So if you're looking to save money, that's the way. And what I've been preaching for a long time and doing for a long time is trying to pack light. Don't look at my last Burning Man video, that was another story. But every single time I travel, and I'm gonna make another video about it, so stay tuned. I try to pack as light as possible. I have just had my camera bag and a small cabin luggage. So then you don't get extra cost, even if you find a flight that said that you have luggage included. If you go to Asia and you want, for example, to travel from Bangkok to Koh Samui, then you have to take a small plane. And that small plane is luggage only, or you have to pay the difference if you want to add luggage. So all this adds up. So try to pack as minimum as you can. Try to book directly with the hotel, because the hotels, they want to beat the third-party prices, such as Booking.com, Trip.com, and Agoda. So sometimes you will go on their website and they will offer a discount, especially if it's low or shoulder season. Sometimes you'll find that they offer 25% discount, and it's more advantageous than using Booking.com, even if you have genuine status and all these things. Always compare. Always do your research and compare the prices. And you can just even email the hotel and say, oh, it was actually cheaper on Booking.com. And 100%, 99% of the time, they will do a price match. When you are abroad, you don't want to occur FX, foreign exchange fees. So to avoid that, have a travel card. And this travel card also sometimes includes travel insurance. Please don't get into please get travel insurance. I know many people who travel without insurance, so what even the point of watching this video if you're traveling without insurance? Anything happen, or your flight is delayed or anything, like, yeah, no. Please get travel insurance whatever way you can. Do some research about ATMs, because there's some ATMs that take a big fees. For example, in the Philippines, you have to go to a specific bank, in a specific Filipino bank, to not occur ATM fees. Without, even if you don't have the Forex fees, you still have the ATM fees. Another I can say to save money is to find a travel buddy. So personally, I prefer to travel solo, for the reason that I will explain in the second part of this video. But then obviously, for obvious reason, when you are 2, 4, then accommodation gets cheaper, everything gets a bit cheaper, then because you share meals, You go to a restaurant, you can try different things. And but just it's good to manage expectation. So every time I travel with someone, I'm always like, oh, I'm a photographer, I want to do specific things and I want to shoot specific things. So if you don't want to, if that's not that person interest, sometimes we can separate for a few days. I go do my things, they do whatever they want to do, and then we reconvene at some point at the trip. So I'm very easy like that. And also I'm a night owl, so some people are not really, don't really want to stay out late and check out bars and things like that. So, which I'm happy to do alone because I need people anyway. And then this is how I keep on traveling, which brings me to travel strategies number 2. So you have built your foundation before you travel, and now you are getting there. And the first thing you do when you get somewhere is to find accommodation. So I'm gonna explain some strategy to get free accommodation. And this strategy is gonna be from the easiest to the hardest. So first strategy obviously is to save with friends and family. Simplest way to save an accommodation when you're abroad. Have a lot of friends, have a big family, and then that will help save. That's an obvious choice. But how do you make friends and family abroad? Travel solo, as I said before, because when you travel solo, you're more open-minded, you are more open to meet other people, you are more open to have conversation with strangers and connect with people when you go to a food tour or an organized tour and things. This is how you meet people abroad, or you go to a surf, yoga retreat, anything. I had a video about it that is up here, how to travel solo and make friends. So that's the way. 2, if you love pets, you can use a website that's called Trust House Sitters, where you look after the pet for a long period of time, whatever these people are off to. And the pet doesn't want to be alone. Well, they don't want to leave their pet alone. You sign up into this website and you can find a very cool, especially if you are a digital nomad and you want to stay somewhere long term. This is actually a resource that a lot of people are using at the moment. And then you look after a cat or a dog. I think probably we pick the cat because it's less effort, but yeah, that's a way for you to find free accommodation. There's also volunteering. If you help a cause abroad, building houses, educational purpose, helping building school, teaching a language, that can help you also to get free accommodation during your time. You have to work, of course, but yeah, nothing is free, but it's like nothing is really free, you know? So you can also do some work exchange program, WOOF, I think it's called, work away. So you usually walk away, like people work in a hostel and they get accommodation in exchange of that. There's also couch surfing, where you go and stay with a local. I never personally use it because I'm feel a bit strange about it, but he always had good reviews. I never heard any weird stories in my entourage. And as I said before, also house swap is another way to get free accommodation. And then that was easy to moderate way to get free accommodation. Another way is leverage your skills. So if you are a videographer or a photographer, you can offer your services to an accommodation in exchange to hotels or Airbnbs even, in exchange of a free accommodation. You can say I stay there for 3 days and I deliver 20 photos, 5 reels, things like that. This is also a way to make not to make money, to get free accommodation. There's a way to make money, but you have to actually sign up as a photographer for the property, where you can also say, but his work is not holiday, so that's the difference. Influencer, staying in hotels, it's still a bit of work, but it's more fun than if you're actually the eye of photographer or videographer for this hotel, right? So it's important to kind of know the difference. There's a lot of companies looking for travel writers at the moment to write articles about hotels and destination. So yeah, I would say use your creative skills to be able to get free accommodation. And okay, now I'm gonna end this video with a few more tips on how you leverage on how to save money when you're abroad. Yeah, there's countries where it's cheaper to balance between grocery shopping and restaurant. Street food in Asia, people don't cook at home. They go to the street and eat. Just follow the queues where they are. Go to street to markets and eat there. Avoid eating in touristy center, which is obvious because everything will be a bit more expensive there. And also on Google, when you look for a restaurant, I always use Google, it's so easy. Look for a restaurant, you can select by price and review, and you can see the best restaurant that has the best quality price quality value, or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying right, but yeah, you get the gist of it. Yeah, there's some countries where it's much cheaper to use public transportation or e-bikes or anything or everything else rather than using taxis. So that's something that you should link into. Uber in South America is quite cheap and it's the safest way to move around the cities. Take advantage of free activities. This free walking tour that you can do. You can go to a park, you can do some hiking. There's like plenty of things that are free that you can do, even in London. Anyway, if you want to see a video about the top 10 free things to do in London, let me know in the comment and I will do that for you. And if you want to stay connected, which I think is very important, that you should always stay connected, eSIM are the best friends. I use Eredo. Discount code below. eSIM is a virtual SIM card that you add into your phone that you load up before your trip. So when you land into your destination, you are directly connected, and it's much cheaper and less hassle than queuing at the SIM card counter when you land somewhere, which is a waste of time. So that's it. That was my advice, tips and tricks on how to save money when you travel. So build the foundation at home by thinking of how you can maximize your travel cost. When you're on the destination, try to get free accommodation with the 3 methods that I showed you: easy, moderate, hard. And thirdly, yes, look at how to save money when you try to budget yourself when you arrive at the destination. If I missed something, please let me know in the comment. I hope this video was useful. So I challenge you to try any of these methods, and you'll be happy to see that it works. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of those tips and tricks, if you want to see more of those tips and tricks and travel hacks, please subscribe. That will go such a long way. And as usual, thanks for watching and live inspired. Bye!